Hey, we're live. We're at Starfleet Studios. Hey, how's it going, guys? Let me fix this camera. How I have this set up is I have an iPad basically sitting. I don't like that. There. Now you can see Star Trek Raven logo. Okay, we are live. I am going to share this video. Okay, I am. Hey, whoever's there, let me flip back over here. Welcome, whoever is watching, one person. Thank you. This is David with Starfleet Studios, and we are live here at the Starfleet Studios messy room. And I've got my coffee. How you got anything to drink? Because we're going to talk about the return of Star Trek Raven, and I think that's a good idea and about time. So let's get cracking. And somebody is obviously installing something on a wall with a hammer in the background. I don't know who that is. This is my box of cookies. So I may eat live. How rude is that? Okay, so we have one person online. We're going to wait, hopefully, get a few more. And so just hang out. As soon as we got two people watching, I'm going to start talking. And I'm going to post. I'm going to post a bit so I can hopefully get some more people watching us. Fan Film Productions, that's my group. I have several secret groups that I use for managing all of the films and productions. And so when you join our crew, you get to become part of these things. Let's see, Raven 2 cast and crew. We're just going to call that what it is. Okay, posting. Okay, we got two people live. Hey, this is David with Starfleet Studios. I am the creator of Star Trek Raven and Voyager Continues Derelict. And I am in my back room where I have assembled some things for you to look at in the background, which it's not that many things, but the most interesting, of course, are the dolls. The dolls have been given to me by various people. I was not a doll collector until people started giving them to me. So now I have several Star Trek Voyager suits on the dolls, which was handmade by my friend Teresa, who's a wonderful seamstress, and then a couple of the TOS dolls. And now I've got the little stormtroopers there with blasters. So there's a new stormtrooper and there's an old stormtrooper. So I still like the old stormtrooper. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is Star Trek Raven. Original Star Trek Raven was was really difficult to get done. I thought a fan film would be easy to get done, and it obviously was not. And we worked on the original for a long time, and I had so many people come and go. Unfortunately, I had to dump the entire script and start over because it became a real burden around my neck and everyone else's. And so um, we I decided to just rewrite the script from scratch, grab everybody who was committed and still in town, and then we did Star Trek Raven. So now, and then we did Voyager Derelict. The reason we did that was because we had access to the Stargate Atlantis consoles. So we put LCAR screens on the Stargate Atlantis consoles, and then we did Voyager Derelict. And his name is Mud was made during both Raven and Derelict. I mean, it was pretty much a big, amazing, amazing situation working on all those films. Um, okay, so now I have written a rough draft, first draft of Star Trek Raven, and so what you're going to see is you're going to see the return of Raven in how she was in the first Star Trek Raven with the purple hair and the suit. And originally, my idea was to get Raven. So this would be a couple years after Raven on the Prometheus, and Raven was going to have longer hair, and she was going to be speaking with her vocal cords. You know, in the original Raven, she's a pure telepath. And so we shot a few scenes, and then after talking to Sydney, her friends, and the feedback we all got was, we want the purple wig back. We want her back how she was. People had already gotten used to Raven, how she was. And so I've been joined by my wife's awesome little chihuahua. Hey, buddy. And would anybody like to see our chihuahua? I'll bring one up if I get a hey. So go ahead and give me a chat. If there's something you want to talk about in regards to Star Trek, Raven, Voyager, any of the series. I haven't watched Discovery, so not a lot. I tried to, but I just couldn't watch it. Feel free to make a comment. I need to watch that again. Mark, now Mark, when you go watch Star Trek Raven, go to the Starfleet Studios YouTube channel and watch the new version with the new CGI. So all the new ships, the intro's new, everything is better looking, and it's pretty remarkable what our friend Jorg in Germany did for us with the Star Trek Raven scenes. And I did make a mistake in the re-edit. When Braxton's ship blows up, you see the old ship for a split second, which for some reason I just had trouble with that area covering up that scene. And basically I took the original film and just placed the ship scenes right on top of it, and then edited the sound a little bit and the ending on the storyline. So Raven is Starship Prometheus. I think I called it Editors. What did I call it? I forget. It's the newest version of it. Let me just go to my own channel. Let's see. It is Starship Prometheus Raven Starfleet Studios. Yeah, just search for the Starship Prometheus film at Starfleet Studios YouTube channel. Or you can go to starfleetstudios.com and you can see it right there on the main page. Or click on videos. No, we don't have a multi-million-dollar budget, but we do have a lot of good stuff, and I do try to do the best we can with what we got. So, thanks, Mark. All right, so we're going to talk about Raven. Now, the young lady who played Raven, Sydney, she is back, and we've got a lot of the crew back. And I think probably what's really getting me excited is that Amanda, who played Varro, our Vulcan, who was so wonderful to watch on screen, is back. And so that's going to be fun to see her. I think she just made an amazing Vulcan. So serious and deadpan. It's great. And so she will be here for a little while this summer. And so we're going to try to grab her and get her some screen time. Wouldn't that be awesome? Have you guys seen Amanda as the Vulcan? And I don't have a way to put anything up on the screen yet. I'm still a rookie to live. I'm just using an iPad running wirelessly at home, sitting on my desk in front of my monitor. So that's how I'm even doing this. Okay. So, talking about the script, what happens on the next Star Trek Raven? Well, I'm going to talk about the script, so it won't be a surprise. Spoiler alert. And of course, it can change in editing, as things often do. And basically, the gist of the story is, and the reason the script is going to be what it is I have a young model named Abby who is going to be playing a younger version of Seven, and to make her younger, we've given her an illness that is de-aging her, and it's affecting her brain, and her body is not able to compensate. It's overcompensating, and so we get a visit from some Voyager crew come to help Seven of Nine on the Prometheus. So in our universe, Voyager returned, and Raven, Star Trek Raven, is what CBS should have made when Voyager was the last, and Deep Space Nine was the last thing that came out before they decided to go back in time to Discovery. I think they should have gone forward with a show like Star Trek Raven, incorporating new characters, new ships. It's like they just didn't have any, I don't know, did they run out of imagination? Because Star Trek Online, the game, continued from that point on, and we get new ships and new characters, and people have progressed, so we see a lot of the characters moving forward. I'm going to bring my puppy up here. Hi, Peanut. Okay, here's Peanut. Hey, guys, this is Mr. Peanut, and isn't he a handsome young man? I think so. He's got a new harness today, and so he's just going to hang out with me while we talk about Star Trek. So let's see if we got any more comments. I'm skipping between that. I just got a message from Teresa, who is going to be playing Janeway. Janeway played Admiral Greystone in Star Trek Raven, but we're switching here. She had the ponytail. She was in the opening scene. She's a very good actress. She's going to be switching to playing Janeway, Admiral Janeway, which is fun. And so I got the cute dog right here, holding him by his rump. And he don't feel so good. He went to the doctor today. So let's see. We got 3 folks watching. Okay, so is he a member of the Screen Actors Guild? If not, let him bark a lot to pay. Hey, that was funny. So where are you at, Mark? Where is Mark Bishop at? You don't have to tell me your street address. I'm just wondering what country and state are you in? So it's nice to see you watching, Mark. Okay, for those of you who just jumped on and we lost a couple, we're up to 4 watchers. I'm pretty excited. And you have to start out small and then you grow, right? Let's see. Is he a member of the Screen Actors Guild? Do you think we should get Peanut on the Star Trek Raven? Maybe it'll be Janeway's new dog. That would be pretty fun. Or Seven. Maybe Seven has a dog on Prometheus. Help her learn how to interact with animals properly. That would be funny. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Janeway needs a dog. Arkansas. Oh, hey. You know, there's the new Arkansas Star Trek original series sets there. Are you aware of that, Mark? Yep, they're filming there all the time now in Arkansas. So that's my friend Glenn and Dan. Glenn Wolf, Dan Reynolds. They run Wolf Reynolds Productions down there. So if you want, I'll send you a link. Melbourne, Florida. Hello, Florida. Paul Martin. Okay, so back to the next Raven show. So here's my idea so far for the film. I had the outline for a few months. I let it swim around in my head, and then I don't know why we got interrupted, but we're back. Don't know what happened there. Okay, we're back. And no, sir, you've not seen it. Okay. Um, well, if you don't know about the Arkansas set, the set that used to belong to Starbase Studios moved to Arkansas. And Starbase Studios is where we filmed the bridge scenes for His Name is Mud. Okay, back to the script. We still have four people hanging on here. Okay, so basically, Seven of Nine is ill. It's causing her to age regress. So she is now at the age of 17 when Janeway and Chakotay get the call. The doctor wants them on board Prometheus to help with Seven. And so Seven has been unknown to the crew. Prometheus has been hiding her ailment for a long time. And I have some interesting thoughts about how we de-aged her and why it took so long for that to happen. So we get the return of Captain Corvus. We get the return of Varro and Raven. And we're adding Seven of Nine, Chakotay and Janeway. And then Terry Meadows is going to be playing Dr. Evans. So the doctor we had is being changed out because I want to get Terry in one of our fan films. She's a big Star Trek. She's a great actress, and she's a big Star Trek fan. So original series and all of them. So so we have a crew of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actors slated for this next film. And this is going to be a challenge because, again, doing everything green screen, hoping to get our ships. The ship scenes are going to be pretty simple this time. Mostly, shuttlecraft scenes and shots of the Prometheus flying through space. This is mostly a dramatic scene, a dramatic space opera interior. Now, the interiors are what's really hard to get for Star Trek fan films. This is Peanut, actually. Hey, Peanut. Let's hope your green screen is better than. Well, I have a studio now that basically I run a talent agency in Boone, Iowa, and I've painted a wall. I've got a wall that is 10 by 20 left and right green, and then I have the green backdrop that I can lay on the floor. So I can do a downward shot of someone walking through a 20-foot corridor, which is pretty cool. And then we can also, if I can figure out how to get the mics on some type of a cart, then we can do a walking scene on that green wall as well. The tough part is lighting those things because that green bounces all over your characters, especially if they're wearing white or anything reflective. And so this time, Raven won't be wearing the wet look suit. She'll be wearing a black suit, a black top, but she won't be reflective because the reflective gave me so much trouble in green screen editing that it was a pain in the butt. Thanks. Yeah, I like the red shirt. We needed to wear a shirt that didn't have stains all over it because I work a regular job like most people and I get dirty. So abide by our community guidelines. I'm not sure why I keep getting disconnected. Could be because I've got other people using the internet in the house, and that sucks a lot of bandwidth, and so that could be it. So, okay, back to the script. So the outline of the script for the next Raven film, and we are going to go back to calling it Star Trek Raven. I know it's a risk because CBS can give me a cease and desist at any time. And that they tend to only do those that they feel threatened by or that are getting a lot of views. Raven has got 150,000 views or something like that. Derelict's cranking up there, getting closer to 70,000, I think. But um, I think unless they feel threatened, they pretty much leave you alone. Because I've seen some fan films out there that have even used clips from the Next Generation, and they don't tag it. It's like they don't have somebody searching for all the fan films. They're just going after the ones they notice are getting a lot of attention. And so I want Raven to get a lot of attention. And so if you would like to help with the next Star Trek Raven, we are, you can go to our starfleetstudios.com and you can keep up to date. I do need to update it that we're going to announce it going back to being called Star Trek Raven. We have a donate page. Our Patreon, of course, is patreon.com/Starfleet Studios. I'm also going to set up a link to send us a direct donation through PayPal. And you could say what we're supposed to use that for. And most of it, really, what we need is the CGI ships. So we got the cameras and the costumes, and we could use some makeup money, and maybe some gas money for people who are driving a long way. Give them for that. But CBS has all these rules about what you can spend money on. It's really dumb, CBS, to limit people in that way, especially dumb to force people to use costumes that are, talk about merchandising. You have to buy our professional costumes if you're going to make a fan film. And then you shut people down. How rude is that? We won't be using your costumes, CBS. We'll be using our own handmade costumes that were donated. So no, people weren't selling these online, so you don't have to worry about that, CBS. You greedy little suckers. Buffering odd. Yeah, I don't know why it's buffering so bad. Pay-per-view? A pay-per-view for the Star Trek fan film? Oh, wow. Yeah, CBS would freak out on that. There's no way. They would freak out. It's a great idea, though. Green screens do odd things if you wear green. Very true. Very true. In fact, I have a dilemma because I have a shoot with the model and we're going to be using a green cloak. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. I run a talent agency, Midwest Model Agency, and we're doing a special shoot for one of our projects, and that's going to be a challenge. So let's see if we got any other comments here. Hello, Sam. Oh, Sam? Sammy! Sam is our cat. I don't know where he is right now. He's quite a demanding cat. Okay, so back to the script. Okay, so let me give you the overall outline. We've got 7 watchers right now, so 7 of you are going to find out what's going on way before anybody else. Prometheus Voyager has returned. Prometheus is still active. Corvus is still the captain of the Prometheus. 7 of 9 is assigned to Prometheus as a science officer. She gets ill, and so Captain Corvus requests Janeway and Chakotay to come visit 7 on board Prometheus, and we get some interaction there. And 7, though, is pretty ill. She's not going to have a lot of lines. She's going to say things like, uh-huh, okay, things like that. Abby is a rookie actress, and we're not going to put a lot of pressure on her. And with Raven, one of the reasons we made Raven a telepath was because it was so difficult to get things shot with Raven over and over again that the dialogue changed so many times. I decided let's make Raven a telepath because we can change the dialogue at any time. And then when we did the final voiceover for Raven, in fact, a few lines changed yet again for all of her telepathic comments. And I think one of the funnest parts was when Raven took Corvus into her mind to show her her vision. Now, I don't want to drop too much information about the script, but Varro is a Vulcan, Raven is a telepath, and Seven is ill. So you can assume if I can get those three actresses in the same room together, um, because scheduling fan films is crazy. It's not like going out to lunch, for crying out loud. It takes a lot of work to get everybody scheduled, and get everybody prepared, and your costumes and your makeup and your lighting and your cameras. It's extremely difficult to get those things done. But if I can get Raven, Seven, and Varro in the same room, um, there's a scene we're going to shoot that I've already written for the script, and a lot of it will be voiceover because it will be telepathic, and so that will be totally cool if I can get that done. Who wants to see Raven, Seven, and Varro together? I know I do. Patreon is a good idea. I do have Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Starfleet Studios. We have 2 donors now, and somebody jumped on board, and I don't know their name right now. I've been meaning to send them a hello and a thank you. So thank you. We now have 2 donors over at the Patreon site, and let me click over there and see how we're doing. 2 patrons at $13 a month, and that helps a lot more than you guys think. 13 a month can pay for gas. It can pay for um, shipping for a product we need for the show. And I have a feeling I'm going to be buying some new things for the show. We might need some new props. I don't really have a Voyager style medical tricorder. That's something that we kind of fudged last time. We had a tricorder, but that is no longer ours, and so that is back with Starbase Studios. Well, it's not called that anymore. It's in the Arkansas, Wolf Reynolds Productions. What is the name of the new place in Arkansas? I can't remember it right now. Yes, with the green screen, keep the Orions off the set. Very true, very true. They're green, aren't they? When we shot His Name is Mud, we had green screen Orion slave girls, and man, that's a lot of green makeup, but they looked cool, and so yeah, I would love to do green screen Orions, male and female. And I'm getting some likes. We are up to 7 watching. Hi guys, if you just jumped on, we have been on for 28 minutes talking about Star Trek Raven returning, going back to our roots. And let me share a secret with you about Star Trek Raven. The name of the show is the name of the character Raven, but originally it was going to be the name of a ship. If you remember Star Trek Voyager, there was an episode called Raven where 7 of 9, or Anna Kahance's family, they give an episode about that, how they were following the Borg to learn more about the Borg, and they eventually got assimilated. And boy, what's some parenting, right? That's some parenting. So and then in Voyager, there was an episode where Species 8472 was going to be attacking the Alpha Quadrant by assimilating themselves to look human, and they had a Starbase mock-up, Starfleet Academy, and Chakotay and Tuvok went down and beamed down there and walked around, and they eventually got discovered. But they also entered into negotiations with Species 8472. So the original idea for Raven 4 years ago was that a group of Species 8472 built the ship, Intrepid class ship, and emblazoned it the USS Raven 8 NCC 8472, and then they headed back towards the Alpha Quadrant, but they got attacked, and the only person that was left on the ship was going to be a character called Raven, and that or a different name, but the ship was called Raven, not the character. And so when I had to dump that script, I decided that I still like the name Raven for Star Trek Raven, and then we completely remade the entire idea for the script, starting out at a starbase with the admirals discussing this person Raven that had been a captive of the Maquis. And so, let's see if we got any questions here. The small dag looks so spooked and then goes back to sleep. He don't feel good. He had to go to the doctor. He hurt himself, and so he's got some pain meds right now, making him a little drowsy. So he's a little drugged up right now. Yeah. He looks bigger than he is. He's actually a teacup because of the camera view. He's a little guy. So imagine your arm from your fingertip to the crook of your elbow here. That's how long he really is. So I'm going to put the link to our Patreon in here, of course. I would love to see a couple $1 owners. $1 donations. $1 a month. I would love to see 10 people give us $1 a month. Heck, I'll take whatever I can get. That would be awesome. $1 a month would be so much fun because it's there, and say it's not a big commitment on your part. And I will include you in the credits of the film as a Patreon donor, as a Starfleet Studios donor. I'm going to include the link to the website. Paste. Okay, so for those of you who've seen Star Trek Raven, it was a bit rough going. It was shoot and go. It was okay. Here's the script. We all have a week or two to look over the script. Fortunately, we had enough time for most of the people to study the script, so we weren't just going in completely cold. On Star Trek Voyager Continues, Derelict, Mary, who played Seven of Nine in that film, she had memorized the script, but Harry Kim, Stephen, had not had time, had not even looked very much at the script, and he was pretty much doing it on the fly. So if it looks like Stephen is reading some of the script, he would listen to her line, look down, and then say his line. And for being able to do it on the fly like that, that's pretty darn good. And again, I don't know how much time our cast is going to get to study their lines for Raven Part 2. And right now, the ongoing title is called All Things Considered. So Star Trek Raven, All Things Considered, a Star Trek fan film, is what the tentative title is for Star Trek Raven 2. So I'll be changing the website to reflect that we're going back from Starship Prometheus to Star Trek Raven. And hopefully, I'd ask some folks for Voyager fans if there's a couple interactive scenes for, see you, Robert, enjoy your dinner, where Chakotay and Janeway are going to be talking to Seven about to try to keep her conscious, basically. And so they're going to bring up things from her past. So if we have a few fans mention a couple things from the shows that Chakotay and Janeway can mention to Seven to kind of keep her thinking about things. Funny is good if they can mention something funny. So that's what's going to be going on the ship. And again, here's the original Star Trek Raven. Steel wings. This is like the this part here that I'm pointing at behind me. That's like the insignia of Starfleet, but it looks like it's been Borgified, and it says Star Trek. You can't see them because the dolls are in the way. There's a little Voyager. There's a little Voyager right there. There's a Borg cube right there, if you can see it. I was actually going to use that model for a film, but it just looks really, really well crappy on film. I just couldn't get it to look anything more than what it really is, which is a 8-inch plastic toy. So not enough detail in it. So, but that's okay because now we have a CGI guy. All right, so it's been 36 minutes. I've been talking about the new script for Star Trek Raven. If you would like to learn more about Star Trek Raven Part 2, visit us online at starfleetstudios.com. I'm going to be doing more of these updates to keep people up to date, including my own crew. And thank you, Eric Hawk, for considering. Even if you just watch our show and share it without donating, that's more important to me, the sharing process. Sharing Starfleet Studios. Go share the Starship Prometheus video or the Starfleet Studios channel on YouTube. That would be freaking awesome. We appreciate everybody, all our fans, our dozen fans that we have. And so Raven is coming back. We're going to get Varro back. We're going to get Seven, a new actress playing Seven, a young Seven, but she is tall. She's a model. And we're getting Janeway, Chakotay, Corvus, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And so I hope that you join us on this wild ride as we create another Star Trek Raven fan film with better CGI, better green screen, better audio, and overall, hopefully, a TV quality as close as we can get version of Star Trek Raven, the fan film, completely unendorsed by CBS and Paramount. And we want to make it so good that they threaten to sue us like they did Axanar, because Axanar was doing really well, and they sued him, didn't they? And they chopped him off and make him change everything. It's like, wow, CBS, you really have no clue about how to treat your fans. You should have gone into negotiations right away. You saw what they were doing, CBS. Why wouldn't you do that? It's like, because you have your hierarchy of how things are done, and whoever was in charge just wasn't smart enough to say, hey, maybe we should work with these guys, the fans, in a positive direction. You know, wouldn't that be something? And you finally licensed the set up in Ticonderoga. That was very smart of you, very clever, because you did shut down the fan film shoots in that facility, didn't you? And you knew that Continues, CBS, was coming to an end, and because you kind of put an end to their funding. And so, because you're afraid Discovery wasn't going to, be followed enough, you want everybody to follow Discovery, not Continues or anybody other's films. Well, you're really dropping the ball. I hope somebody at CBS wakes up someday. Ugh, what a mess! What a mess over at CBS. Les Moonves is really to blame for most of this. You guys know that, right? Les Moonves, yeah, he shut everything down, and he hates Star Trek. That's from my opinion. That's what I hear. That's what's been printed. That he is not a fan. James Cawley produced great fan films. Yes, he did. There are a lot of great fan films. And they pick and choose who they want to pick on. Hopefully they'll leave me alone. If they give us a cease and desist, what we will do is we make our film private. So I'm already prepared for a cease and desist, okay? Private people can do whatever they want privately without sharing publicly. So if we get a cease and desist, what I will do, if the film is already produced, is I will announce private viewing or private downloads for the film so you can get a copy. Okay? We're not going to just stop putting it out there. Of course, now the danger is someone will steal it and put it on YouTube. Well, I don't know what to tell you about that. That won't be me doing it if we get a cease and desist, which I doubt we will. I mean, we'd have to get several 100,000 views, I think, before CBS even notices that Starfleet Studios is around. I am pretty proud though that we own StarfleetStudios.com and CBS does not. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I took that a few years ago because there was another group called Starbase Studios, and I really like that. Like, I'm going to go one step further. Let's call it Starfleet Studios because they don't own the copyright to the name Starfleet. Starfleet has been used by groups all over the world in different countries and different stories, plots, and story. They just can't. I don't think they can copyright that one. So anyway, thanks you guys for watching. I got to get ready to go to work tonight. Yes, I work tonight, and I'm going to try to do these at least weekly, if not bi-weekly. Um, and so my cast and crew are going, whoa, what are we doing and when? Like, we got to get cracking and get scheduling. We got everything. We got the set. Well, we got the green screen. We got the costumes. We got the location. That's covered. That's part of what's hard about this. So now we just have to get the script finalized and get everything scheduled. And what's nice is with green screen, is someone you can't get in a scene, you just have them stand there in front of the green screen, right? Say their lines, then you shoot them this way, say their lines again. Do that a couple times, and then you can just stick them in a scene. Have someone talking to somebody, yeah, Captain, blah, 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 and then you can have a shot from the captain from behind, and then you can piece them together. And so that's the beautiful thing about fan films on green screen, is you can cut corners a lot. And so but it sure is nice when we get people together on set. It's really fun interacting. If you've never made a fan film or been in a film before, it is so much fun. It's ridiculous. And yeah, my screen keeps glaring off my glasses. But okay, guys, I'm going to take off. So we got any more questions here before I go? Nope. So thanks, Robert, Mark, and Paul for talking, and Captain Marco Hawk. Thank you all for joining us, and you guys have a good night, and we'll see you in a few days. And we're off.